The following program is brought to you by Jack Miller.
It's Down to Business with Jack Miller. Forget what they teach you in school. This is real life, not Wall Street, but Main Street. A real show on what's really involved with starting and running a business with all the ups and downs. Our guests will answer your questions and provide you with valuable information. Stay tuned and join in the conversation.
When the earth was created,
Hello, everyone. This is Jack Miller. Thank you for joining us this Thursday at 3 o'clock and wherever you're listening to us on the Internet. I've noticed that more and more people are listening to us on the Internet. In fact, I was super excited last night. I went online and I saw there was like 10 or 15 people listening to us.
It's amazing. We're up from like 3 or 4 people to 10 or 15.
With that, everyone... Todd, how are you? Todd Cohen?
I'm doing great, Jack.
Good.
How are you doing?
You know what? On that line, I have really exciting news. We are now not only on the Internet, we're on iTunes.
We're being picked up nationally now?
Well, we were always nationally, internationally. Believe it or not, listeners from Brazil, Russia, China, all over the place, all over the world. But we're now on iCloud or iTunes.
That's great.
So that's pretty cool.
I love podcasts.
We're podcasting.
Yeah.
We don't know what the heck we're doing. We're podcasting. But
all good.
It's all good. So you having a good week, Todd?
I'm having a great week.
I don't know the details, but I heard Tom Brady is having a super great week. I heard that he came out victorious in his fight with the NF.
Not very surprising. I mean, they didn't have the evidence. They never did. It was all circumstantial. And if you use real judges in real courts of law, unlike the little court they have in the NFL, then that stuff gets overturned. You remember they used to have a court underneath the Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, by the way?
Yes, of course. Of course.
Hilarious. Clown court.
Well, don't get me started. The whole there. I hear you. Todd, I use the show as I think you know, and my wife knows, and our audience know, as like instead of going to a psychiatrist. So I have some deep-seated psychoses, or I don't know what's the difference between a psychosis and a neurosis.
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
Either way, I got them both, but I got a lot of issues. So I want to tell you about one. Hopefully, it'll relieve some of my stress. I have all kinds of issues with touching people and like touching food and restaurant, and I have all these rules and rituals. I just can't stand sometimes to touch people.
So you're a germaphobe.
I'm a germaphobe.
Like Howie Mandel level germaphobe, Howard Stern, that type of?
I don't know, except you know what it is? When you're making like $1 billion a year, it's like it gives you personality. When you're a schlubber like me, I just get myself in trouble because of it.
I'll tell you, the germs are all over money.
I know.
Dollar bills, $100 bills, $20 bills.
It's terrible. And you talk about that. Many years ago, I worked for my father-in-law's. He had a clothing business, and Christmas time, people used to come in, but they'd be sweating, and they would take their money. I helped them at Christmas a few seasons, take it out of their breasts.
Oh, God.
And pay you, and you'd have to give them change. It was disgusting. And no one ever looks good when they're doing this.
The only time that's okay is in a gentleman's club.
No.
And even then, I am not that fond of...
My brother-in-law runs the business. This is in the Berlin Farmers Market in Berlin, New Jersey. No, nothing good there.
Right.
Nothing good there.
So, like, what are some things that really gross you out in terms of...
We only have so long, but I'll give you a couple of them. First of all, do you ever kiss an old lady? You cheek kiss her. You walk away. You have so much makeup on your face. It's disgusting.
Yes.
So I can't stand that. If it was me, there'd be only pounding and elbowing or whatever.
How about strangers or even people in your family peripherally who give you those real wet, juicy kisses?
I can't stand it. I don't want to touch anyone. I don't want to kiss anyone. I don't even like, you know what? I can't stand to touch menus. Do you ever go in to touch a breakfast menu? There's syrup on the menu.
Oh, so nasty.
There's scrambled eggs on the menu. It's just disgusting.
Right.
And I have to what my ritual is as soon as I'm done with the menu, which I barely touch, I have to go wash my hands before I eat. So then if somebody comes and they put out their hand like during your halfway through your meal, I have to leave again and go wash my hands.
Right. If you're having a business lunch and everyone shakes your hand, do you have to go wash your hands after that?
Are you kidding me? Do you ever go to lunch with someone, and I'm sure this happens to you all the time, and they're eating this big, juicy hamburger. They're licking their fingers.
Licking fingers is a no-no.
And then they go to shake your hands.
Right.
It's terrible.
Right.
Even-
Or if people sneeze or cough before, I can't touch someone after that.
I'm the same way. And they do. Where are their hands? They're up their noses. They're in their ears. They're playing with or adjusting their male genitalia.
Oh, God.
It's just disgusting.
I lived in New York for 10 years, and I used to take the subway to and from work and various other places, and I would not touch anything on the subway. To the point where in the crowded cattle cars that were the morning commute or the afternoon commute, I would lean against like one of the metal poles and not touch it. And people got mad at me because every time the train would jerk back and forth, I would move.
I know I'd like
but
you.
I would not touch. And they have those handle ones above people, but I wouldn't even use those because then you have to like sort of get in front of someone, put your crotch in their face, and that was its own.
And then going to
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but going to the bathroom has all kinds of other rituals.
Right.
I won't touch anything. I don't even, by the way, I won't even touch the, what are the flusher things? What are they called?
Right. Thank God for the manual. It's not manual anymore. It's like automated.
Yeah. But in my house, I won't touch them. I won't touch my doorknob in my house.
Right.
It's just crazy.
I like the new trend that restaurants and some other places have had of putting a trash can in between the two doors
Yes,
that they have.
I like that.
So that you can bring the napkin, hold the napkin while you open both doors, and then throw it out on your way out the second door. That's a classy move because they know. I mean, in one direction, you're going to have to touch a door.
I don't know who invented this touching thing, but if it was up to me, there'd be less touching in society.
Right. Now, when you use a cup in a restaurant, like a glass or something, do you use a straw or do you drink right from the
straw? And half the time I'm sending the glasses back because they have someone's lipstick on it.
Oh, so nasty.
And, by the way, there was a period in my life many, many years ago where I used to bring my own silverware to the restaurants.
Now you're getting into as good as it gets, Jack Nicholson.
Which is really screwed up.
Yeah, that's something, a whole nother level.
You're having soup, and you're sucking on the spoon. The guy next to you was sucking on the same spoon. I might as well just like French kiss this guy.
I mean, there's something to be said for hot water and soap. I mean, I'm okay with that as long as they actually use the dishwasher.
I think that's
right.
I think that's the big thing, as long as they actually use it. But anyway, well, I appreciate you indulging me in this. I must say I got a little stress relieved by it. I feel better. Or one more thing before. What about you go out to dinner on a Saturday night with another couple, there's a loaf of bread, and everyone's touching the loaf of bread.
Oh, that's nasty.
They're breaking it up.
How do you go on like an airplane? Because that's the nastiest thing to me, is everything about an airplane.
Airplane, literally someone sneezes behind you. You see their sneeze fly through the air.
Well, it's reprocessed air. It's all getting recycled up there.
I don't know. I think they're going to have to put me in a straitjacket and just like keep me in my bed. I got so many issues. But anyway, back to reality. Back to reality. I appreciate it. I feel like I could skip my psychiatrist or psychologist this week, and next week we'll talk about one of my other issues.
No, we made some good progress today, Jack. Thanks for coming in, and that'll be $200.
You're good. The problem is I have so many issues and so many rituals in my life. Like everything is a ritual with me. It drives my wife crazy. You can't do this, you can't do that, but whatever.
Right.
Anyway, I found this guy online. We're going to play a motivational minute by him. His name is Derek Clark, and I think this guy is really inspiring. I don't know his whole story. I would encourage everyone to Google him and go to his Facebook page or his Google page or whatever it's called and listen to him on YouTube. He apparently had a very traumatic childhood. His parents abandoned him. He was abused. There was just all kinds of nasty stuff going on. And he puts out a series of really these great motivational minutes. And let's play Derek Clark, can we? And then we'll talk about Derek after.
And I also learned to not let the inner me become the enemy. You go after your dreams. Don't let the little thing inside of you tell you, oh, you're not good enough, oh, you're not pretty enough, oh, you're not tall enough, or you're not short enough, or you're not skinny enough. No. You have a dream that's been put inside of you. You go for that dream. You have to find something within you that fulfills you. Something within you. Every one of you has a story. Every one of you has greatness. You were born with it. The most important opinion you should have in this life is the opinion of yourself, not what other people think about you. My life has changed drastically Because when I started finding value within myself, I realized that I could help others. And let me break it down for you real simple. HOPE. This is a Derek Clark acronym. HOPE. Helping one person every day. HOPE. And when you share hope, greatness comes even more. Greatness comes through your character. Greatness comes through adversity, overcoming adversity. In order for you to be great in this world, you got to overcome the weakness. Never let your weakness destroy your greatness. Never limit yourself. But I learned it's not about my IQ, it's about my I will. I learned it's not about how much smarts I have, it's about how much heart I have. Well, thank you. Now, I can tell you that a GPA like that limits you. But I'm telling you that those are the greatest numbers for me because my mom dropped out in the 8th grade and my dad dropped out in 9th. So I'm the first one in my family to break the cycle. And say that I am better than my mom and dad, that I'm not defined by my parents' mistakes, I'm not defined by my mistakes. I own me. I define me, right? You define you. You define you. Now you step up and own yourself. You step up. This is your life.
What struck me the most when he says we need to overcome our weaknesses, and we can't be defined by our weaknesses, but by our greatness, and we own our lives. Because so many of us, we've talked about this time and time. We all have had problems and histories, and bad things happen to us, and we got to overcome it, and we just can't carry around this baggage on our shoulders. And he's a great example of it. So I would encourage everyone to Google Derek Clark.